Hey everybody, this is Kohdok here, and today we're going to take a look at some more Knex Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 figures. This is Series 5. Knex sent me another complete case, so I'll be able to talk about everything today. There are a few repeats in here, but this set seems to have an emphasis on the skins, the variants. They're actually variants to each of the playable characters in Garden Warfare 2, and half of this set consists of a bunch of those variants, some of which are actually pretty easy to get. Looking at the spreads, there are 3 commons. The commons come 6 to a case. The commons in this case are going to be Rose, going to be this variant Sunflower here, and the Scientist Zombie. So we actually have a common zombie. That's pretty nice. The rares are going to be this Captain Deadbeard variant, Super Brains, and Colonel Corn, and the elites are this variation of the Imp and this variation of the Pea Shooter. Now, getting these two both got changed into rares, which means that Colonel Corn is a bit harder to find, but I'm sure there's enough of Series 4 lying around that you guys could find Colonel Corn if you wanted to. But they also made Super Brains easier to get, which is good because Super Brains is frankly one of the best figures so far. It is easily the best of the zombie figures because unlike the others, he comes with all of his accessories, because while these other characters use guns and pistols, all Super Brains has are these fists o' mine. So it's good that it's a bit easier to get Super Brains in this case. Rose is also still very easy to get. And because they have a common zombie, it means that the ratio is a whole lot better. Last time, the ratio per box was 20 plants to 6 zombies. In this case, it is 16 plants to 11 zombies. So it is a much easier time getting some of these zombies in order to play, which is really nice, because I like the idea of army building. I like having these guys to fight together. And, let's take a look at some of these. Now, Colonel Corn, Super Brains, and Rose I covered in my last video. You can check that out to see some more close-ups of them, but today I'm going to be focusing on the Scientist and these 4 variant models. Let's start with the Zombie Scientist. He is the one new figure in this set who is not a variant. He is a common, which means he comes 6 to a box, so he is very easy to find. And he has sort of the basic soldier zombie body complete with the pigeon-toed foot. He's got some missing pants, and however, rather than the regular hands, he instead has Super Brains' gloves, only not colored, so that he gets those nice scientist gloves. He also gets the spiky hair wig, and the wig is removable. The goggles are not removable. I mean, they're loose, and you can kind of slide them up, but I think I would advise against removing them. They're just some goggle pieces slapped onto the regular zombie head, so pretty basic and straightforward. Take a quick look at the back there. Not much going on in the back, but you can see how his goggles are strapped on, and this wig is removable, so you can give it to somebody else. It's nice and basic. Now, the Scientist has some really cool looking weapons, which makes me a bit disappointed that they don't include those weapons with these characters. Maybe they'll come out in a set. I mean, I know they've been putting out some sets. They actually sent me some, which I'll go over a little bit at the end of the video, that give the zombies like really big projectile shooting versions of the weapons, but honestly, just a little piece of unpainted plastic that clips into their hand would be enough, and I really hope that they do something like that in the future. And here we have the Pylon Imp. The Pylon Imp is a variation of the Imp. In this case, it is an elite, which means it comes only 1 to a case, which means that Imps are still 1 to a case, which is a bit regrettable. I wish that something small like this would be easy to find, but it's pretty basic. It has short, stubby legs like the other Imps. It has the similar kind of body, the hands, and in this case, it has a safety cone for a hat. Compare with the Imp from set 4, the basic Imp, you can see some of the differences there. You see that the outfit that the new Imp wears, it is a different shade of orange. It is slightly less international orange than the regular Imp. He has a yellow suit with some safety stripes on it, has some painted on earmuffs, and of course has the different hat, has the safety cone rather than the Buzz Lightyear hat. But otherwise, things are pretty similar aside from the paint job. This is really the only new piece here, this safety cone, and the safety cone is removable just like the other one, so you can slap some other hair on here, you can slap the safety cone on someone else, or you can just put out the safety cone as a little prop. I wonder if they'll start mass producing these for use with some of their other sets. And now we have Captain Sharkbite. Captain Sharkbite is a water-themed version of Captain Deadbeard. Why they needed a water-themed version of something that was already a pirate is kind of beyond me, but this is definitely the character that has received the most changes. One of the most prominent changes between him and the original Captain Deadbeard is how they handled the beard. In the original Captain Deadbeard, the beard is actually considered part of his hat, but in the case of Captain Sharkbite, the beard is actually part of his face. So they have actually sculpted a new face, or at the very least a new beard for Captain Sharkbite, and the hat is its own separate component. So you could take this hat and slap it onto nearly anybody. A lot of the body changes aren't really that much. Of course, you have the various color changes, but this one is definitely the one that has received the most changes, Captain Sharkbite. I do wish that they included his pistol, his flintlock pistol, which would have been really nice to have to sort of round out the set, but I guess that's something to save for next time. He is a rare, which means he comes 2 per case, so he's a bit hard to find, but this hat makes him a bit easier to detect if you want to go by feel. And finally, let's take a look at the plants. This here is Sunflower. She is the medic of Team Plant, although in this case, even though it looks like the regular Sunflower, this is actually the variant version called the Power Flower, as seen compared to the original Sunflower, which I received in a different set. It has a lighter face, it has the blue body, and it has the white petals as opposed to the yellow petals and the orange face of the regular one. Now, this is the electric themed one, and it doesn't really have very many differences compared to the original, aside from this nice metallic coloring. It is pretty much just a recolor, but it is a common. There are 6 of these to a case, so they are very, very easy to find. They have the same base and I think the same neck as the pea shooter, although they have the different hands in the forms of these small buds on the side here. It's a pretty fun one. Mine is a little bit off center on the face here, but that's not too severe a problem. It still stands just fine. Everything works just fine. The plants are probably the better made ones out of the two. The zombies sometimes have some trouble staying together, and of course that previously mentioned problem of not coming with any weapons. And finally, Elite number 2, the Plasma Shooter. This is a special variant of the Pea Shooter, although it seems to be either blue or purple, depending on which game you have. The white glowing eyes also seem to be different depending on which game you check, but in this case, when compared to the regular Pea Shooter, which I got in the previous set, it is a very nice, striking, metallic purple color with those bright colors. It is the Elite, which means it only comes 1 per case, although it can be kind of easy to mistake for Rose because they have that same kind of bulbous head shape, but, you know, it's another recolor. It's more the standard pieces, although it has that nice metallic color and the glowing eyes. Very impressive, and I believe it also has, it has the special clear blue plasma ammunition, which it can fire out. It's pretty cool. It's a very, very basic model, but these recolors, like I said before, are the emphasis on Set 5, and I don't think a lot of these have seen the light of day. I'm pretty sure that this one's new, and the Imp is new. I'm pretty sure Sharkbite is new as well, because those are all characters that were just introduced in Garden Warfare 2. I hope that more of these sets are ones that emphasize the variants, and that we get some more basic sets that make it easier to acquire the basic characters such as Super Brains and some of the others. But for now, this is pretty good. They've made Super Brains a bit easier to find, which I appreciate. They put out a common zombie, which I also appreciate. So, a pretty solid set so far. I really wish they kind of dropped the rarity system and make it so that each one gets 4 in a set, but that might be asking a bit much at this point with the way the collectibles market has been. And let's finish off with a little bonus. Now, previously in the video, I did mention that they made some smaller sets, and that would be these. In this case, we get the Foot Soldier, who comes with a large bazooka. Now, this bazooka actually draws back and fires, similar to how the Pea Shooter works. In fact, there is another set like this that uses the Pea Shooter and Captain Deadbeard as its 2 characters. It comes with 1 zombie, 1 plant, in this case Sunflower, and at least 2 of these little gnome targets. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take aim and fire at these crazy targets here, like this gnome at the dunking booth. You actually knock them over with the shots, and that is how you do them as sort of a fun thing. Now, there is a bit of a problem here. The cardboard can be a little flimsy in getting these together. Like, there's another one that's a boat, but that one, with how it's designed, just kind of fell apart on me. But otherwise, it's pretty cool. The boat also comes with, like, a gnome on its own that you can just kind of shoot. So it would be cool if they had a way to just include some more of those solo gnomes along with 1 character. But Not a bad way to get some things. It's currently the only way to get any weapons for the zombies, which is something I hope they fix. But otherwise, they're kind of fun little sets. I'll have to see if I'll get a chance to take a look at some larger ones if they've made any. They're actually making a lot of new sets. Like, they have some more for girls, they have some stunt rallies. I think they actually made some My Little Pony Knex, so there's going to be a ton of stuff to look out for. But anyway, this is another look at some more Plants vs. Zombies by Knex, and until next time, this is Kohdok signing off.